And now here again is our guest, Kent Millard. Kent, powerful story you concluded your message
Thank
with.
you.
The young mother losing her baby, but her identity was clear. She said, I am her mother. For you, you blurted out in a workshop once, I'm a passionate, compassionate, visionary Christian leader. But for most people, the discovery of their identity and to distill it in a one sentence doesn't come so easily. What was the process for you?
I think it was being put in the challenging situation of people just keeping asking the question, who are you? It's the hardest question to answer in life, I think, but the most important. And when you keep going to a deeper and deeper level, first of all, we start talking about roles we play, pastor, parent, so forth. And then finally, I think you get down to a base level of the essence of our being. Compassion, love, what is our life really about? And when we keep focused on that, and we simply live out of that, then we're clear about what we're to do and how we're to make a transforming difference in the world.
Identity has everything to do with integrity.
Exactly.
What's the hook between the two?
Well, when people are clear about who they are, then they can also engender that in other people because they see in every person a spark of God. Every one of us is simply a human being encapsulating a divine spark. And when you see that in yourself, then you recognize it in other people.
I think about great leaders, you know, the cost of discipleship and the agony of it. Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Oscar Romero, Bishop Tutu, who suffered greatly, but whose identity was clear. And isn't there a liberating freedom that comes when one's identity is clear?
I think when that happens, it's like the power of God comes in. It's the soul within us that then is empowered, connected to God, who provides the spiritual energy for the task ahead. Martin Luther King was very clear about who he was. You may know of his experience of having fear at the beginning of the bus boycott and having bombs thrown into his home, and was thinking about quitting. And then had an experience at his kitchen table one night when he felt the presence of God saying, I will be with you. You are to be a leader of freedom. And he began to articulate his role as a freedom leader for not only African Americans, but for all people. His identity helped him lead.
Your identity as a leader in the faith, Kent, in Indianapolis. Tell us about St. Luke's Church, a beautiful example of inclusiveness.
One of the missions of our church, or our mission, is to be an open community of Christians, gathering to seek, celebrate, live, and share the love of God with all creation. So we've tried to decide what it really means to be open. And so we're open to all persons, whatever their theological position might be. So in our congregation, for example, we have an active group of gay and lesbian Christians worshiping with us, and an active group of promise keepers. Now those folks don't always agree on many issues. But our point is that we are open to experiencing God's presence in each of them and valuing them as children of God.
Affirmation is an important, and trust, and
Exactly.
faith-centeredness is an important component there. How did you manage, though, to bring people who differ with one another together under the tent?
It seems to me, as I worked with various people, I just see so much good in everybody. I just see the spark of God in each person I work with. Now, we may not always think alike, but I see God active in their lives. As John Wesley once said, we're not called to think alike, but to love alike. And when I find something to love in every person, I don't want them excluded from the tent. I want them all included. And so in our staff, we've modeled that by having one pastor who, in his heart of hearts, would say homosexuality is a sin. But he would say, I am a sinner also. And so how could I be judgmental of someone else? Another pastor who would say, I don't believe it is a sin because it's not chosen. Those two pastors work well together because they appreciate each other.
Your church worship services take on many forms.
Yes.
One is even in the form of a dinner theater. Tell us about that. In 30
Several years
seconds.
ago, we were overcrowded in our sanctuary, and so we thought we are creative people. We don't have to have all the worship services here. And so a member of our church made a dinner theater about 4 miles from our congregation available to us. And one of our pastors had a vision for starting a satellite ministry that would reach unchurched people. And so now today, 6 years later, there are over 800 people worshiping in the dinner theater in 3 different worship services. 70% had never had any church connection before. They come in casual clothes. They sit around the dinner theater tables. They drink coffee and donuts and are inspired by God.
You are an inspiration to us all, Dr. Kent Millard. Thank you for this message.